For the past few weeks, I've been lying to my family. Not about where I'm going or who I'm with, but about why I'm suddenly leaving the house an hour earlier every morning. They think I'm just getting ahead on work. They see me packing my lunch the night before, setting out clothes, disappearing into the darkness while they're still sleeping. What they don't know is that I'm chasing something that might completely fail. $0 coming in, zero guarantee it'll work. Just me betting an extra hour of sleep every single day on something that statistically probably won't work. And here's the thing, this isn't even the hardest thing I'm doing right now. Everyone thinks doing hard things is about motivation. Like you need to watch a David Goggins video and suddenly you'll want to wake up at 4 a.m. and conquer the world. That's garbage. The truth about doing hard things, it's not about feeling ready. It's about making one simple choice over and over, especially when every cell in your body is screaming at you to take the easy path. This morning, when my alarm went off at 5 a.m., I didn't feel motivated. I felt exhausted, but I got up anyway. Not because I'm special, but because I've learned something about hard things that most people never figure out. And once you understand this, you'll never look at difficult choices the same way again. Let me tell you what's actually happening in your skull when that alarm clock goes off at 5 a.m. Your brain immediately starts negotiating. You say something like, just 5 more minutes. You worked hard yesterday. You deserve rest. This can wait till tomorrow, can it? And here's the crazy part. Your brain is designed to do this. It's not broken, it's working perfectly. See, your brain's number one job is keeping you alive, and alive means safe. Safe means comfortable. Comfortable means not doing hard things. Every time you choose the hard path when you don't want to, not when you're motivated, but when you're exhausted, you're literally building a part of your brain called the anterior mid-cingulate cortex. Sounds fancy, right? Let me break it down for you over some coffee terms. This part of your brain is basically your I can do hard things muscle. And just like your biceps, it only grows when you stressed it. But here's the kicker. It doesn't grow from doing hard things you enjoy. I love roasting coffee at 2 a.m. That's not building anything. That's just me being weird. It grows from doing hard things that suck. The stuff you don't want to do. The uncomfortable conversations, the boring tasks, the discipline when motivation is gone. A few months ago, my family wanted to go for a walk. Beautiful day, kids are excited, perfect family moment. Old me would have just enjoyed the stroll, but I grabbed a 35-pound kettlebell and carried it the entire walk. My 6-year-old asked why I was carrying a kettlebell. I told her because choosing hard things when you don't have to makes you stronger for when hard things choose you. She looked at me like I was insane, but then she thought about it and said, like eating yucky eggs because I need protein? I smiled and shook my head yes. Halfway through the walk, when my shoulder was screaming and I wanted to put it down, I had a choice. And every time I chose to keep carrying it, I was building something more valuable than muscle. Last week, I had an hour drive to work and I was feeling exhausted. I could have chose a comedy podcast. Instead, I listened to dense business lectures that required actual focus. Not because I'm some productivity robot, but because I know something most people don't realize. The people who seem naturally resilient, the ones who handle crisis after crisis without breaking, they're not special. They've just been deliberately choosing discomfort in small ways for so long that their resilient brain muscles are jacked. When life throws a haymaker, they've got the mental muscle to take it. Think about it. Every successful person has this weird relationship with discomfort. They seek it out, not because they're crazy, but because they understand the brain mechanism. Now, to tie this back in to what I was saying in the beginning about lying to my family, I'm building something in secret, and it requires me to do something uncomfortable every single day. Not because I want to. Trust me, I don't want to. But because the version of me on the other side of this discomfort is worth it. And here's the beautiful part about building your mental muscles up. They don't care what kind of hard thing you're doing. They just care that you're choosing discomfort. Cold showers when you want it hot, it builds it. Difficult conversations you've been avoiding, it builds it. That extra rep when your muscles are done, it builds it. Getting up when the alarm clock goes off instead of snoozing, it builds it. You're literally restructuring your brain to be more capable. And unlike motivation, which is an emotion that comes and goes like weather, this is permanent construction. But here's where most people get this wrong, and it's the difference between burning out and building strength. Here's what nobody tells you about doing hard things. They stack in ways you can't predict. A few days ago, I had to pitch some supplement brand for a partnership for an affiliate site I own. Before the call, I found myself pacing, clearing my throat, slightly nervous. Not because I'm new to business, I've built $1 million coffee company, but because pitching myself, putting myself out there, asking people to believe in my vision, that's a different kind of hard. I could have sent an email, could have had someone else do it, could have waited until I felt ready. Instead, I made the call, turned the camera on, feeling like a complete imposter, and pitched anyway. You know what happened? They said yes. But that's not the interesting part. The interesting part is what happened the next day. I posted a YouTube video I'd been sitting on for 3 weeks. One I'd filmed and refilmed because it wasn't perfect. The lighting was off, I stumbled over words, and I looked tired because, well, I was tired. I'm always tired. But something about pushing through that pitch made posting an imperfect video feel like nothing. So I posted it anyway. Got more emails from that one imperfect video than anything else I'd posted before. See, here's the compound effect. When you do one hard thing, it doesn't just make that one thing easier next time. It makes all hard things easier. That kettlebell walk I mentioned, it's not making me better at carrying kettlebells. It's making me better at having difficult conversations with clients, at saying no to easy money that doesn't align with my values, at getting up at 5 a.m. to work on something that might completely fail. Every hard choice is a deposit into an account that pays interest in ways you can't imagine. 2 years ago, I was sleeping in a Walmart parking lot on coffee sacks, driving between Massachusetts and Maine just to keep my business alive. I lost my biggest client at 1 a.m. in the parking lot, read the email with the help of the flickering lights above me. Most people would have quit right there. And honestly, quitting would have been the logical choice. But I've been doing hard things for years before that moment. Small ones, stupid ones, ones that didn't matter to anyone but me. So when that moment came, when life grabbed me by the throat, I had enough deposit in my resilience account to cash that check. The compound effect works like this. The cold shower in January makes the difficult conversation in February easier. That conversation makes the risky business decision in March clear. That decision makes the family sacrifice in April worth it. It's all connected. Every single hard choice is building a version of you that can handle what's coming. And trust me, something's always coming. My daughter recently told her little sister, she didn't know I was listening, Dad works really hard to keep us fed and happy. She's 6. She doesn't understand compound interest or business or why Daddy's always tired, but she sees the work. She sees the choices to keep going when stopping would be easier. In that moment, I realized that she's learning that doing hard things is just what you do. Not because you're special, not because you're motivated, but because that's how you build a life worth living. The secret venture I'm working on right now, the one that has me leaving at 5 a.m., it might feel spectacularly. Probability says it will. But even if it does, I'm building something that can't fail. The ability to handle whatever comes next. Because here's what I learned in that Walmart parking lot. What I learned from posting that imperfect video. The hard thing is never actually about the thing itself. It's about who you become by doing it. But there's a dangerous trap here that almost nobody talks about, and it's probably killing your progress right now. You know what the biggest BS story about doing hard things is? It gets easier. No, it doesn't. And anyone who tells you that is either lying or they've stopped growing. Here's the truth nobody wants to admit. The hard things don't get easier. You just graduate to harder things. 5 years ago, cold showers were my hard thing. I'd stand outside the shower for 5 minutes negotiating with myself like a lawyer. Now, cold showers are nothing. I don't even think about them. But you know what replaced them? Bigger stakes, harder conversations, scarier investments. Right now, I'm studying for something in secret that could change my family's entire trajectory. Every morning at 5 a.m., I'm grinding through material that makes my brain hurt. No guarantees it'll work, no paycheck while I'm learning, just pure faith and discipline. 5 years ago, this would have been impossible. Not because I'm smarter now, I'm not, trust me, but because I've graduated through enough levels of hard things that this is just the next boss fight. Think about it like a video game. You don't keep fighting the same level 1 enemies forever. That's not growth. That's a comfort zone dressed up as discipline. The gym bros who've been benching 225 pounds for 3 years, they're not doing hard things. They're doing familiar things. The entrepreneur who keeps launching the same safe products, not hard, just busy. Here's how you know you're actually doing hard things. You're constantly feeling like a beginner again. Last week, I had to learn entirely new software for a venture I'm launching. I'm sitting there at 11 p.m. feeling like an idiot, watching YouTube tutorials like I'm in high school again. My wife walks by and asks what I'm doing. I could have said I was working and left it at that. Instead, I told her the truth. I told her I was trying to do something that a 22-year-old could probably do in 5 minutes. See, you've been sold this lie that at some point, if you do enough hard things, life becomes easy. You'll reach some level where you can coast. That's poor mentality thinking. The people crushing life, they're not coasting. They're just failing at higher levels. Elon Musk didn't go from PayPal to chilling on a beach. He went from PayPal to almost bankrupting himself with Tesla and SpaceX. The Rock didn't go from wrestling to relaxing. He went from wrestling to 4 a.m. workouts while building a media empire. They graduated to harder problems because that's where growth lives. But the secret to making this sustainable, you have to learn to love the suck. Not tolerate it, not endure it, actually love it. Because that discomfort you feel, that voice telling you to quit, that moment when everything in you wants to take the easy path, that's not your enemy, that's your compass. It's pointing you directly toward growth. When I'm studying at 5 a.m. and my brain is screaming to stop, I've learned to recognize that feeling as a signal, not a warning signal, a growth signal. It's like your brain is saying, hey, we're building new neural pathways here. This is the construction zone. Most people feel that discomfort and they retreat. They think something's wrong. They think they're not cut out for it. But that discomfort is the work. That's literally how your brain is rewiring itself to be more capable. It's like muscle soreness after a workout. The soreness isn't a problem. It's proof the workout worked. The mental discomfort of doing hard things isn't a bug. It's the entire feature. And once you understand this, everything changes. You stop avoiding discomfort and start seeking it. Not because you're crazy, but because you understand the game. The game is simple. Find the thing that makes you uncomfortable and live there until it doesn't. Then level up and find the next uncomfortable thing. But here's the warning, and this is crucial. Hey you, if you're just here to passively consume content, hit the like button out of habit, or subscribe just to never watch again, don't. This channel isn't for spectators. It's for people who actually are on the path, who want to take action, who are willing to push themselves and challenge what they know. Vanity metrics don't matter. Real growth does. So if this channel speaks to you, if you're ready to level up and actually apply what you learn, then stick around and please give this channel a follow. If not, no hard feelings, but this isn't the place for you. All right, back to the video. Let me tell you something that's going to sound harsh, but you need to hear it. Right now, while you're watching this, you're making a choice. Not later, not tomorrow, right now. Because in about 30 seconds, this video is going to end. And you're either going to do what 99% of people do, feel inspired for about 12 seconds, and then click on the next video, or you're going to do something different. You're going to choose one hard thing and do it today. Not tomorrow, not Monday, not when things calm down. Today. Here's the thing. I can't do this for you. Nobody can. Your wife can't, your kids can't, that motivational playlist can't. It's just you and the choices. And I know what your brain is doing already. It's already negotiating. Well, I'll start with something small tomorrow. Maybe I'll wake up 15 minutes earlier next week. Just stop. That's delay discounting. Here's your protocol, and it's stupid simple. Pick one thing you've been avoiding. One thing that makes your stomach tighten just thinking about it. Maybe it's that conversation with your spouse about money. Maybe it's finally starting that business idea that's been rotting in your notes app. Maybe it's signing up for that class that scares you. Maybe it's just doing 10 push-ups right now on your floor before this video ends. I don't care what it is. Pick one thing and do it within the next 2 hours. Not plan it, actually do it. The distance between who you are and who you could be is exactly one hard choice away. Just one. The version of you that's crushing life a year from now, they're not some different person. They're just you after 365 hard choices. My secret 5 a.m. project might fail. The venture I'm building might crash. The uncomfortable pitches might all get rejected. But you know what can't fail? The person I'm becoming by doing these hard things. And that's the real secret about doing hard things. They're not actually about achieving the goal. The goal is just the excuse to become someone who does hard things. So here's my challenge, and I'm going to hold you accountable to it. Comment below with one hard thing you're doing today, not tomorrow, today. And be specific, because accountability without specificity is just wishes. In 6 months, you're either going to be the person who watched this video and did nothing, or the person who watched this video and changed everything. The difference? One hard choice right now. The coffee's getting cold, the alarm clock is going off tomorrow at 5 a.m. You're ready, and that version of you that you dream about becoming, they're waiting for you to stop talking and start doing. Your move. But first, a quote that's been living in my head rent-free. Discomfort is the down payment. Who you become is the compound interest.